Hi everybody, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be working with some body weight exercises and also some hand weights. So strength training, both with body weight exercises, which is just your own weight, and then also whatever you have available. If you have some small dumbbells in an appropriate size, go ahead and use those. Water jugs, soup cans, anything that you have that's heavy that you can hang on to that's about the appropriate weight, go ahead and use that. This is going to be an all levels workout, so you can always modify the exercises, the standing exercises. If you need to go back to seated, a lot of them will have a seated variation on that, so I'll let you know on that. But make sure to work at your own level so that you're challenging yourself, but work at the level that's appropriate for you. And then of course, as always, please remember to have some water available nearby so you can get a drink whenever you need it. And also sturdy shoes. If you need to wear shoes during your workout, please go ahead and do that. And for the chair exercises, a sturdy chair that's not going to move on you, no wheels, no armrests, it's not going to tip on you, anything like that. So just make sure that you have everything that you need before we get started, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm going to put these down for right now because we're going to start with a couple of things that are body weight exercises, and these are going to be standing but using your chair. Okay, so again, make sure that you have a sturdy chair that's not going to move on you. So first thing that we're going to do is just start engaging the muscles of the upper body and the core. So you're going to hang on to the top of your chair with both hands, give it a little push, make sure it's not going to go anywhere. We're going to take a step back and then shift the weight forward. So you can slightly lift your heels up if you want to. Have your hands kind of close together here. And we're just holding our position. We're engaging the core. Sorry about that, it's got a ad going on my music here. All right, so engaging the core, and you want a nice strong line, just a straight line from the ankles through to the shoulders. So you're challenging yourself. This is a variation on the plank, all right? So this is an elevated plank. Now from here, we're going to start bending the elbows just a little bit. Again, we've got the hands close together and come back up. You don't have to bend very much. Just work at a level that feels like a good challenge, but it's doable for you. And we're going to keep that straight line all the way from ankles to shoulders. We're going to keep that core engaged, and of course, remember to keep breathing. Always keep breathing. Sometimes we'll concentrate so much that we forget to breathe. We're holding the breath, and we don't want to do that. Good job. Let's just do one more. All right, so that's a nice warm up there for the core, chest, shoulders, arms. Let's go ahead and step over to one side of our chair, and we're going to do a lunge. So for this one, we're doing a split stance, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. All right, so go ahead and point your toes forward. We're going to bend and come back up. Sorry, you can't see my feet. I wasn't sure about the camera position here. It's a little tricky to get everything just right on the setup here. And of course, partials are always fine. If you have any knee pain, any issues that you can't come quite as far down, that is fine to do that as well. Partial range of motion, always staying in pain-free range of motion. Let's do one more. You notice we're just using the chair for support. We're not trying to balance just yet. All right, so let's go over to the other side of the chair, and we're going to do the other foot in front. Same thing, split stance, toes pointed forward, back heel up, and down, and lift. So think of just dropping that back knee down towards the floor. Good. Keep breathing through it. Just a couple more of those. All right, great job. Go ahead and come back around behind your chair, and we're going to do another core one here. All right, so we're going to start in that same position we were at earlier, hands on top of the chair. take a step back. We're engaging the core, pull the belly in. This time we're going to do some rotations. So you're going to keep hanging on with one hand. With the other hand, you're going to rotate and reach toward the ceiling. Then come back to center. Let's do the other side. Rotate, reach toward the ceiling, and come back towards the center. Good. We're just going to do one more on each side. Nice. And one more on the second side. Good. All right, so let's do a couple more lower body exercises here. I'm going to move the chair out of the way, but please feel free to keep using it for support. I'm going to just adjust the camera down here so that you can see my feet a little bit better. All right, so we're going to do just some partial body weight squats here. So right here, your feet are positioned hip to shoulder width apart, whatever feels comfortable for you. I'm only going part way down because we're still just warming up the body. Good. Sit back in the heels, engage the glutes, and then I'm going to add one more part. I'm going to add a heel raise as we come up. Heel raise up. Sit back in the heels, squeeze the glutes, and heel raise up. Of course, use the chair if you need it. You can have the chair right in front of you. I just moved it out of the way so that you could see my positioning. Nice. Just one more. All right, so let's do heel raise, toe raise next. So this is completely lower leg. We're going to go with a little bit narrower stance. Chair or wall for support. Heels, toes. This can get a little bit tricky with the balance, so make sure that you have that support available for you. If you need to go back to a wider stance, please feel free to do that. Good, just one more. All right, so let's go ahead and grab some hand weights here. Water break anytime you need it. And then we're going to start with some rows with your hand weights. So you can use one or both. If you have a lighter weight or whatever you're using for weight, household items, you can use two. If you have a heavier one, you just want to use one, that's fine too. So we're going to have one hand on the top of the chair. The other hand is going to be doing our rows. So you're going to be doing a slight torso lean forward. And some people call this the lawnmower. All right, so you're pulling the elbow up toward the ceiling, moving the shoulder blade in towards your backbone. If you can visualize that, that's a big help in visualizing using the muscles of the upper back to pull. And then a nice slow lower down. You're going to resist gravity coming down. Good. So think about, again, upper back is your primary mover. A lot of people just say, oh, I feel it in my arm, I feel it in my shoulder. You want to let the upper back muscles, those big muscles, be your primary movers. And that might require you to think about those muscles so that you're not just kind of going through the motions. Good. Let's do one more. All right, so from here, we're going to stay on the same side, go into a tricep exercise. So you notice I put one down because the tricep is a smaller muscle group. There are three, but it's still a smaller muscle group. So for this one, we're stabilizing at the shoulder and then extending the arm at the elbow. So you're working on the back of your arm. Remember to keep breathing. It's really easy to concentrate so hard that you hold your breath. Make sure that you're breathing. 3, 2, 1. Okay, before we move on to the other side, we are going to do a shoulder press. I'm going to move the chair again. But we're going to do a floor to ceiling. So depending on how you feel about this, this is going to be a little bit more challenging. You can try it with one weight. If you're feeling really strong or the one weight's just too light, go ahead and grab the other weight as well. So what you're going to be doing is a slight knee bend, reach down, and then you're going to punch the weight all the way up to the ceiling. Down and punch. Now if your balance is feeling fine, you don't need to use the chair. It's there if you need it, but it's not required. We're getting a little lower body here. You can change the foot position if you want to go wider. That's fine too. Good, just 2 more. Okay, now you might be thinking, why did we do just one side there? Because usually we'll do both sides overhead. Number 1, we're doing the floor to ceiling, but number 2, it's requiring more stabilization through your core, especially through the oblique on that side, to just be doing the unilateral. So that's why. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the second side. We're going to go back to those rows. So if you were using 2 weights on the other side, go ahead and grab both of them. We're going to do that lawnmower movement again. So one hand supporting, the other hand is doing the rowing movement. So you're going to keep the arm tucked in close to the body. We're not going to wing out the elbow. You're going to pull it up to the chest. And again, try to visualize that shoulder blade moving in towards the middle of the back. So in towards your backbone. Think about those big upper back muscles, the latissimus dorsi, the rhomboids. Those are the big muscles that we're going for. You're still going to be working on the arm and the shoulder. Don't worry. They're going to get their workout too. But we want to think about those upper back muscles for this exercise. Good. Just a couple more of those. Nice. Okay, so we're going to do the tricep one next. I'm going to go ahead and put one weight down because, again, despite there being 3 of them, they're a lot smaller muscles than those upper back muscles. So remember to stabilize through the shoulder. All right, we're not swinging at the shoulder. That's a common mistake. We are only moving. I'm going to turn just a little bit so you can see. Moving at the elbow. You want to come out to full extension, completely straighten the arm. Neutral wrist. And for this one, we're thinking about the back of the arm. Triceps are on the back of the arm, and they're actually a large part of the musculature in your arm. So some people just work the biceps, and you're kind of cheating yourself out of getting that nice defined look in your arm. All right, so let's switch to the floor to ceiling overhead press. I'm going to move this out of the way, but again, feel free to just keep it there. It's fine. Down and punch. Down and punch. Then again, if your balance is good, you can let go of your chair. You can move the feet to a wider position. And just like before when we were doing the lunges, you can do a partial. If that's too much knee bend for you, partial range of motion is always okay. Good, just one more. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and have a seat. Okay, I'm going to take a quick little water break, so please feel free. Do that yourself. Stay hydrated. We have some extremely hot, windy, and smoky weather going on here right now, so make sure you get that extra water in. All right. We are going to work on some more shoulders next. So you're just going to be sitting in a comfortable position in your chair. We're going to be combining a lateral raise with a front raise for the shoulders. So we're going to start out to the sides, lower down, and then lift to the front, lower down. Now you'll notice on both of these, I'm lifting up to about shoulder height, which is where we want to go. If we go higher than that, the trapezius starts to elevate. And we don't need any more tightness in that area. That's a lot of the source of neck tightness and pain. So we're just going to keep those muscles relaxed. They get enough workout on their own for the majority of us. Now you're going to take the tempo just at a moderate tempo. Not too fast, not too slow. You always want to think about resisting gravity though. Good, one more each way, looking good. Okay, let's go ahead and do our rotator cuff muscles. So if you're not familiar with that, the rotator cuff muscles, hold on. Okay, the rotator cuff muscles are 4 small little muscles up in the shoulders that help to stabilize And sometimes we forget to work on those. So this is called external rotation, and this is one of the very basic movements for working the rotator cuff. So the key to this one, you can do this with a band as well. The key to this one is to lock the upper arms in by your sides and only do the external rotation as far as you can. So we don't want to be lifting away from the body, even a little bit. If you can't come out this wide, that's okay. You may have a previous injury or impingement, or you just haven't been doing this very much. I'm alternating hands on top, just to make sure they get worked evenly. And you want to use not too heavy of a weight for this one. These are small muscles. Okay, good. Okay, so next one, we're going to move forward in the chair. We're going to be combining some abs with rotation and a punch. So make sure that you're sitting up tall. Make sure that your chair is nice and sturdy. It's not going to tip on you. You're going to start leaning back and bring your weights up to chest height. Now at this point, you're already going to feel like your abs are starting to engage. So keep breathing through it, but the abs should feel like they're holding you there in place. We're going to come up, punch across, go back. Make sure that you're not using the back of your chair to support you at all. You want to use your abs for the whole thing here. Big punch, punch, good. Nice. So think about the waistline as you're doing the rotation, those obliques, as well as the abdominals in the front and the lower back muscles in the back. All of those are getting worked with this exercise, plus of course, chest, shoulders, arms. You might be feeling that a little bit since we just did shoulders on the last exercise. Now I'm going to add just an extra little challenge here. We're going to add a toe tap to it. If that is confusing to you, just eliminate that. It's just to give you a little something extra. It's not absolutely required, but you can do it if you'd like. We have one more on each side. Good. All right, come all the way up. Okay, so let's take a nice deep breath in and deep breath out. Make sure that we're breathing, and then we're going to move on to doing some abs and some bicep curls. So we're going to be doing what I call figure 8 curls with the biceps. Okay, keep your music going here. All right, so you're going to sit up nice and tall again. You're going to just be leaning back and holding that position there. So we're going to do a palms up and then palms in. So palms up as you lift, palms in as you lower, and I'm going to add that toe tap back in there. Again, if that's too complicated, you don't have to do that part. Do remember to keep breathing even while the abs are engaged. So you have 3 different things going on here. You have the abs, the isometric hold, as you're leaning back. You have the biceps. Actually, you have 2 parts of the biceps because you have the brachialis as you do the palms in. That's the outer part of the arms. And then you got a little toe tap here for some extra, just to be a little extra. All right, now we're going to change the biceps so it's palms in as you lift, palms up as you lower. Palms in as you lift, palms up as you lower. Make sure you're not reclining against the back of your chair. If you need to take a break on the abs, you can do that. If you're still doing okay, go ahead and just hang in there. Keep breathing through it. Let's just do one more of those. All right, great job. Catch your breath again. We're going to do a big inhale, big exhale. All right, so I'm going to put one weight down for now. We're going to be doing another core exercise here. So we're still sitting at the front of the chair, and we're going to be taking our weight and drawing a big circle around. Now your range of motion is going to depend on how your body feels. If you're feeling great, you can increase that range of motion so that you're making a really big circle around. This is working on lower back, obliques, and your abdominals in the front. But If your lower back is sensitive, like mine is, and it starts to talk to you, just make that movement smaller. Just draw a little circle in front of the body, or you can put the weight down and just do it. Range of motion exercise with no weight at all if you need to do that. There we go. So do what works right for you. All right, we're going to change direction. Again, listen to your body. If you need to modify this, please feel free. And again, we're going to keep the weight a little bit on the lighter side for this one. If you're feeling okay, though, go ahead and do that great big circle around. We call this the matrix. Also good for your shoulder mobility. Let's do just one more. All right, great job. Okay, so catch your breath. Big inhale, big exhale. Now I had some nice upbeat music for you here, and it has gone ahead and gone to jazz, so it may not be quite as upbeat as it was earlier. All right, so go ahead and grab both of your weights. We're going to be doing some stand-up, sit-down, which is exactly what it sounds like. Let's move to the front half of your chair, come up to standing, and come back down. Let me move back further so you can see me when I stand up. Okay, up to standing. Now, a couple of things. You're still using your glutes as you stand up, so that means squeeze those muscles. And then check your form. Make sure that your knees are not dropping in. That's a really, really common thing to happen. And you need to actively press those knees out. And then we're also going to be doing an exercise to strengthen those muscles in the outer glute, okay? How you feeling? Partials again are fine. If this is a bit too much range of motion, you can come up to standing and just come part of the way down, halfway, or even a quarter of the way down. Anytime you need to modify, please do so. This is meant to be working for all levels. Good. One more. All right, nice job. Let's go ahead and come back to the chair. We're going to rest one or both weights on the leg. So it's up to you depending on how heavy your weight is, but we're going to start with that outer glute, outer thigh exercise. So we're going to just do that lift and tap out, tap in. You want to think about the muscles that you're working. All right, so the outer part of the glute, there are stabilizer muscles there that are going to help you when you're trying to balance, when you're trying to even just walk. Because even when we're walking, we're taking one foot up off the ground to step forward. So you want to have good balance and stability so that you're not at risk of falling. Good, big lift and step out, step in. One more. All right, let's go ahead and just do a quick little heel tap with the weights on there before we move on to the quadricep lift. So we're just going for the strength in the calf muscles and the mobility through the ankle. A lot of people have really tight Achilles or in the shin area where it connects the ankle. People have a lot of tightness there. So make sure that you're working through some range of motion exercises there. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the quadricep lift. So the weights are resting above your knee, never on the joint. And we're just gonna do that lift and lower. I'll let you enjoy my sock. You wanna think about flexing the muscle on the top of the thigh. Okay, quadricep muscle here. Nice, nice and steady. Not too quick, lift and lower. Good. All right, we're going to switch to the other side. So weights are going, again, one or two, either one's fine. Make sure that they're above the knee, excuse me. And we're going to start with that lift and tap out, lift and tap in. So this is strengthening, again, that outer glute area, those stabilizer muscles, which is similar to like if you've ever done like clamshells or side leg lifts. Same kind of thing, same muscle groups. And this is going to help you if you do have a problem with the knees dropping in towards each other when you do something like a squat. Very, very common for that to happen. So we're going to try and fix that by strengthening these muscles. One more. All right, let's do our heel taps next. Same kind of thing, working on the strength of the calf muscles plus the flexibility through the ankle. There are some really great stretches that you can look up online or check back in some of my stretching videos if this is a problem area for you, if you get really tight in those muscles and tendons around the ankle. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go ahead and do our quadricep lift. Nice. Slow lift, slow lower. Nice and steady. Always keep breathing through it. I'm letting you have the back support this time so that we can focus on the muscles on the front of the thigh. Nice. Last one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put one of these weights down. We're going to come up to standing and do our last few exercises behind the chair. Of course, if you feel like you need to modify and stay seated for these, especially the wood chop that we're going to do next, please feel free to modify that. If you're feeling okay with doing the standing exercise, go ahead and come up behind the chair. This is, of course, our full body exercise, upper body, core, lower body. So I'm going to move the chair out of the way just so that you can see, but feel free to have it there in case you need to grab it. All right, so I'm doing one weight here. If you're feeling great though and your weights are light and you want to use both, you can always use both. You can always use a heavier weight if that feels appropriate for you. Just a little further. So this is up on the shelf, across the body, and down to the floor. This is one of my most commonly used exercises because it's what we call a functional exercise. So it's mimicking movements that we do in real life, like picking a step off the floor and putting it up on a shelf. And it's giving you whole body strength and letting those muscles work together. One more. All right, so remember it's a diagonal movement, but it's the whole body. Upper body, core, lower body. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Oh, it's so windy outside. Lots of branches down in our neighborhood. Good, just a couple more of these full body movement. You can hear our wind chimes going like crazy. All right, so I'm going to have you go ahead and put the weight down now. We're going to do body weight for our last couple of exercises here. Water break if you need it. Go ahead and make sure that you are near to your chair. And we're going to do our hamstring and glute lift. Let me just get rid, I guess it's just going to do an ad and then it'll go back to our music. Okay. All right, so I'm going to come around to the side just to make it a little easier to see, but you could stand behind your chair, totally fine. You're going to shift your weight over to the inner leg, and then you're squeezing the glute, the big glute muscle, as you lift the leg behind you. We're also working on the hamstring here too. So try to think about the muscle on the back of the leg. I have just a slight knee bend here. If you're feeling good with your balance, go ahead and let go of your chair, and then you can even add some fingertip touches. So I like to do each finger, pinky, ring, middle, index, each set one at a time, touching to the thumb, just to give you a little proprioception. If you're not checking it in the mirror, it's giving you a sense of where your body is in space, but don't forget the most important part, which is this lower body part. All right, good. Let's go ahead and take a break from that for a second. We'll do a quick balance exercise, shake that leg out, and we're just gonna do our tree pose. So we're gonna shift the weight back over onto that leg. Oh, there's Tater Tot. You get a cameo today. wants to know what we're doing. All right, so weight is on the inside leg again. Remember with your tree pose, you're gonna open the knee as wide as you can, open the hip as wide as you can. But you have the option to keep the toes down on the floor. You can come up a little bit higher or even higher still if you want to. And there's Marley, he's gonna make his cameo. There he goes. All right, so again, if you're feeling okay, one or both hands to center. Chair is always an option. Extra challenge, if you're feeling super balanced today, is to close the eyes. I got a little bit more upbeat music again. Make sure you're breathing. Open the eyes at any point if you need to. All right, go ahead and release out of that. And we're going to come around to the other side of the chair and do those two exercises on the other side. So starting with the hamstring glute exercise. Shift into the inner leg, so you're balancing on that inner leg, and you're lifting that leg up behind you, focusing on the big glute muscle and the hamstring. So again, I have just a slight knee bend there, trying to actively contract that hamstring and glute as I'm lifting it behind my body, okay? These are big power muscles that you're gonna use anytime you're climbing up a hill, you're climbing up stairs, anytime that you're going up an elevation. These muscles are really important, and a lot of people do not have any kind of sense of how to activate their glutes. So remember, with any lower body exercise, always activate the glutes. Think about it, mind-muscle connection. Now again, if you're feeling good, you can let go of your chair, do those finger taps. If you want to, if it's too much, you don't have to do that. I just do pinky finger, ring finger, middle finger, index finger. Shh. Guys, I'm going to kick you out. One more. Nice. All right, go ahead and step down. Let's shake that leg out, and then we're going to do our tree pose on this side to finish off with. So we're shifting back over to that inside leg again. Chair if you need it. And starting again with opening the hip, toes down if you prefer, higher if you feel like you want to do that, never putting the foot on the knee joint though, so either below or above the knee joint. And then one or both hands into center if you're feeling okay, let go of the chair, but if you need that chair, go ahead and use it. Option to close the eyes for that extra challenge. If you're feeling good, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, open the eyes at any time. Breathe in, we're almost done. All right, great job. Go ahead and shake the legs out. All right, so we're just gonna finish with just a couple of stretches here. Remember that I have lots of stretching videos, so go and check those out. I have lots of modified yoga videos, meditation videos. Go ahead and check some of those out. And don't forget, before I forget to remind you, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like my channel. Hit like, or please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Click the bell icon so you get notifications about new videos, and of course, click like on the video if you enjoyed it. And if you're watching on Facebook, again, please subscribe or follow my page and click like on the video. It does help with the algorithm so that more people get to see the video, so it gets shown to more people. All right, let's do those stretches. We're going to do that modified downward dog that I like to do so much. Great big step back with both feet. You're going to press your hips back. The goal is to bring your ears down by your arms. Press your hips back, lengthen your spine. I'm going to show you the side view. So most of you are familiar with downward dog. We're just doing it in a slightly elevated position so you don't have to be down on the floor. Stretching your shoulders, back, hips, hamstrings, calves, what we call the posterior chain of the body. All right, go ahead and come all the way up, and we are just going to finish with our final stretch, which is our chest and shoulder opener. So you're just standing nice and tall. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale, open out. Just one more time. Inhale. One more dog cameo. Exhale. Awesome job, everybody. Thank you so much for watching today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you're all doing really well. You're staying safe. You're staying healthy. You're staying cool with our September heat wave here. If you're watching this currently, we are having quite the heat wave right now. So remember to drink lots of water throughout the day. Stay cool, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you again very soon in the next video. Bye-bye.